In this video, I'm going to review how to use Microsoft Excel to calculate standard deviation, and we're going to use a sample set of data here from 9 test takers on a midterm exam scored out of a maximum possible 41. So here we see an array of results for our 9 students, and in the first part of this video I'm going to calculate some descriptive statistics using the Microsoft Excel functions. I'm going to place those statistics here at the bottom. So I'm going to create a label here. So the first item that I want to calculate is the sample size, and this is something we're going to use when we calculate standard deviation in the second video, or the second part to this instruction, where we're going to use our conceptual equations on the right hand side. But I'm going to calculate standard deviation directly using the Microsoft Excel functions. So the first item I'm going to calculate here is the sample size, and I'm going to put that value right here in this cell. And to use the Excel function, I have to hit the equal sign, and that tells Excel that I will be using one of the embedded functions, or I will be typing in my own equation, but here I'm going to use one of the embedded Excel functions. And to calculate sample size, I enter in the function count. And basically what I'm asking Microsoft Excel to do is to count the number of an array of cells. So I'm going to Shift 9, open parenthesis, and I'm just going to highlight the data that I have, the raw scores. Then I Shift 0, close parenthesis, and we have a sample size of 9. The next item I'm going to calculate is the average, or the mean, of this sample, and I'm going to hit the equal sign, and I'm going to use the Excel function average, and these are not case sensitive, so I could have typed this in all capitals or all just lowercase. I'm going to Shift 9, open parenthesis, to indicate the array of data over which I'd like Excel to calculate the average. So I'm just going to grab these with my mouse, and as you can see, when we highlight the instruction to calculate the average across B2 : B10 comes up. I could have just as easily typed these values in. I just chose to use the mouse to highlight those numbers. Then I Shift 0, and we have the average. And now I'm going to calculate standard deviation. I'm just going to go SD here for an abbreviation for standard deviation. And I'm going to use the Excel function. So I'm going to hit equal. And the Excel function for standard deviation is STDEV. And I'm going to type in .s, as it comes up very small here, because that's the standard deviation of a sample. Assuming this is a random sample taken from a much larger class, then I need to use the sample standard deviation equation. So I'm going to type .s to let Excel know that I'm calculating this. I want the standard deviation of this sample. I Shift 9, open parenthesis, and I grab the cells once again over which I want that standard deviation calculated. I Shift 0, and I hit enter, and we have a standard deviation of 4.428. Now, if I did not type the .s, let's come back up here. So when I just click once on this cell, I come up to the dialog box. Here we see the instructions that yielded this value right here. If I did not type .s, then Microsoft Excel would have used the same approach to calculating standard deviation. So if we just used STDEV, the default here for Microsoft Excel is that it assumes the calculation is for a sample. So this ends the first part on calculating the standard deviation of a sample with Microsoft Excel.